After pulling the transmission out of this 250 Lusso a few weeks ago, I got the transmission ready to take it down to my mentor's shop, Francois Sicard shop in Connecticut. I went ahead and loaded it into the back of my Honda. You'd be surprised how much I can haul in this car. I mean, it loads in pretty easily. I was going to take my truck, but with the driving and the distance I had to go, it didn't make any sense to drive my pickup truck all the way down there when I could fit the transmission in the back of my car. So anyway, I took it down there and started to take it apart with Francois. I'm going down to Francois for a couple reasons. One is I could really use the second set of hands and also some guidance in putting one of these things in. This gearbox came to me so that I could put a 5-speed gearbox conversion that's sold by GTO Engineering in the UK. And I was talking to Francois about it, and he told me that he had done a couple of 5-speed gearbox conversions, but they were the factory ones that normally you would find in an actual 250 GTO. But that was back in the day, and he said that he would be happy to help me if I needed a second set of hands. So I'm bringing it down to him for two reasons. One is to take him up on that offer for a second pair of hands that can help me take this thing apart and figure it all out. The second reason why I took it down there was because I actually enjoy working with Francois. It's always a nice thing to go back to my mentor shop and work with him, especially with a project like this that doesn't require a lot of heavy lifting. And it's more about just spending time with him and then figuring something out together. This kit is made by GTO Engineering and doesn't really come with any real directions or instructions, or at least I don't think so. It came in a box with a bunch of parts, and that was it. So we're trying to figure it all out. Francois back in the day had done some conversions to 5-speed gearboxes because the 250 GTO actually came with a 5-speed gearbox and had the fifth gear installed, or came as a conversion. And he had actually done it a few times for some cars, and he remembers doing it for a short wheelbase. He also did it for another car. And but when we started to take this one apart, we found out that it was very different than the one that he remembered from the factory. It looks like the oil pump mechanism has been re-engineered. The case still looks the same externally, but inside it's kind of different. Has a different oil pump, has a different mechanism for synchros and gear sets, and also like a filter system that's been changed so it makes more room in there for the new gear set. So it was really just the first job for us was to just try to figure out how it all came apart. And then from there, we just had to look at the pieces of the puzzle and figure out how it all goes back together. I took some pictures and looked at the pieces and figured out which ones we weren't sure about. And I'm going to reach out to GTO Engineering and see if they can provide us with a little bit of guidance to figure this all out. They claim that they've made a bunch of these and have installed a bunch of these in other cars, but I don't know anybody in the States who's necessarily done this. So it's really kind of up to us to figure it all out. What's interesting is back in the day when they did install these things, or I guess the factory would have sold you something similar to put in a 4-speed gearbox. It always makes you wonder, like, why didn't they just put these in the 250 GTEs and the 330s that use this gearbox? I mean, my car has the same transmission, but they ended up putting a Laycock de Normanville electric overdrive unit. And if they had done this back in the 60s, in the early 60s, I got to imagine they could have just put it in the GTE. And I kind of wonder. And Francois and I were talking about it, and I think it really came down to cost. Imagine back in the day, a Laycock de Normanville overdrive unit that was British made would have just bolted to the back of the transmission, as opposed to Ferrari making up all these gear sets and assembling. But I wonder what the cost differential would have been, because I would have rather had just a standard 5-speed gearbox that would have just shifted right into fifth gear, as opposed to flicking an electric switch to engage the overdrive on a Laycock unit. But who knows? I mean, it probably always just came down to price. But I'm going to keep working on this transmission and hopefully figure it all out, as we go. By the end of the day, I had everything apart, drained, and some of the new parts laid out. And I'm going to reach out to GTO and see what they say, and keep going at this transmission. One problem that we had is this grub screw is stuck. So we're going to have to drill that out and machine it out so that we can get this off. This shaft is getting replaced, but we're still going to need this speedometer drive to be transferred to the other shaft. So got to get this thing out. Probably going to machine it out, and then since we're using a different shaft, we can machine out the grub screw, and then that way we can save the speedo gear. But that's another struggle that we have. The GTO kit just came with a bunch of parts. It's almost like we have a puzzle that needs to be put together, and with no instructions. So we're just going to have to keep guessing and figuring it out. The Ferrari mechanic struggle this week has to do with gaskets. So I took the valve covers off of this 250, and the gaskets were kind of stuck on there, and I had originally glued them in place, so they didn't really come off that well. So I peeled it off. I got to scrape the rest of the gaskets off, and it was time to order a new set of gaskets. Now, originally, these gaskets were this gray material, and pretty thick, good gasket, and I liked it, and I wanted to order some more, but we've had some problems with what's available. The gasket material started to change a couple years ago. We used to get all our gaskets in this dark brown, or this dark gray material, and it would come in a full kit, and everything would come in dark gray. Then all of a sudden, the manufacturers started to change the colors. So they started showing up green, and then they would show up like this. They would show up in this light color. Now, I don't mind the light color, but the green gaskets, for whatever reason, and I'm not sure what it's about. Like, is it the fact that they say that they're asbestos free, or whatever it is, that they're coming from Europe or whatever? They're no longer, I mean, I don't think any of these other gaskets had asbestos in them, but whatever material they're using, it started to come out green. But it's kind of like, I think they're kind of garish. I don't really like the way they look on the engines, but I needed a set. This pair of gaskets here are just what I had in stock, but these will go for a 330, and 330 valve cover gaskets are different than what comes on a 250. So I had to order a 250 gasket. So I decided to just place an order. Much to the credit of one of my suppliers, after I placed the order, they called me and they said, just so you know, the left gasket and the right gaskets are different colors. And I don't know if that makes a big difference to you. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, actually, it does make a big difference to me. I said, what color are they? And they said that one was green and one was tan. And I kind of looked and said, okay, well, when do you expect the matching color to come back? Because I honestly, they were asking whether or not it bothered me, and I said, yeah, it kind of did bother me. When do you expect the other color to come in? They're like, well, actually, we don't, because for some reason, their left and right gaskets are made by two different manufacturers. Now, I get it. Ferrari suppliers don't order tons and tons of these things. I mean, maybe they sell lots of 50 or 100 or whatever for suppliers, but not like they're selling thousands of them. So they're not going to exactly restock until they sell everything that they have. And for whatever reason, they have different color gaskets. And they said, well, that they're not expecting it. Once they're installed, they really don't show up. And I was like, well, I would disagree, because with a valve cover installed, you get this edge between the valve cover and the engine block that you see it all the way across the whole engine. I mean, wherever you see the valve cover you're going to see that gasket color. And already it bothered me that they were green. And I know some people who are doing restorations, they're literally coloring that edge in with a black Sharpie just so it matches. I mean, I kind of feel like, you know, Ferrari really took pride in the way these engines look. And I don't really like the way the green gaskets look, but I think it's made worse if you have non-matching gaskets for a couple reasons. One, aesthetically, you know, I'm not a fan of the green, but at the same time, why would you have two different color gaskets? In fact, if I saw an engine with two different colored gaskets on there, I would just assume that someone pulled one cover off and didn't pull the other one. So why did they only take a cover off of one side? Did they have a problem? Were they fixing something that was problematic on one side and didn't bother checking the other side? It leaves more questions than answers as far as seeing two different colored gaskets. Even though, you know, if I were to buy these gaskets and I got them and they were different colors, it was, you know, that was just what my supplier had. But that's rare. Usually suppliers have the same gaskets colors from one side to the other. So unfortunately, I told my supplier, you know what, cancel the order. I'm going to go order it from my other supplier. I have 3 suppliers that I use in the States, and I'm going to assume that the other one that I call is going to have matching gaskets. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I mean, would you care if the valve cover gaskets matched from side to side? I mean, it's not just Ferraris, but I can imagine anybody who takes pride in their work as far as building even an LS engine, you know, you would want to use matching colored gaskets. So am I being anal, or do you agree that having the same colored gaskets is better for an engine like this? But that's the Ferrari mechanic struggle of the week.